his head just all day long.
That started pretty intense. We need some Star Atlas tunes, Matei, come on.
Let's talk about Star Atlas.
Let's play one more. Let's play one more.
Star Atlas is a place where dreams come true. Welcome to Star Atlas.
All right, I think we are good to start. Thank you,
Let
Star
it be
Savage,
so,
for the
Star
tunes.
Atlas. Let it be so.
Let it be so, Star Atlas. Thank you, Star Savage, for the music. So let's get things started. Welcome to the first Star Atlas Town Hall of the year. I'm here with a super nice panel with Chip, Michael, and Pablo. Let's start with Michael. How are you, Michael?
Hey, I'm great, Santi. Welcome everyone to the first town hall this year, and Happy New Year to you all. Hope you were able to spend some time with family or friends and do a little relaxation over the holidays. I know we took full advantage of it with the last couple of weeks for the team having some time off and getting some much needed rest after what was a really interstellar 2021 for us on the team. So excited to be here. How was your holiday, Santi?
Really good, man. Got some good rest that was for sure needed, and now back at the 100%, ready to rock and roll. Pablo will say.
Beautiful, man. Beautiful. Pablo, welcome.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
Hey, gentlemen, how are you? Everyone, pleasure to be here as always.
Good, man. Yeah, happy Friday to you.
Yeah, happy Friday, man.
You got a new care package over the holidays.
I did. We got the one of the newest Star Atlas citizens, of the nation that we're building here. Yeah.
Congratulations again, man. Wonderful news, and happy to hear it.
Thank you, thank you. You know, I gave him already the Solana kitchen cookbook. You know, he's learning Rust, and we'll be learning UE5 next semester.
Nice.
Yeah, man. I figured by 6 months old he'll be well versed in and onboarded onto the team.
Yeah, you know, gotta get him young.
That's right. That's right.
Congratulations, Pablo. So
Thanks, brother.
we also have Chip here. Chip, welcome. The first time you're here with us on stage.
Hey guys, quick mic check. Hear me all right?
We can hear you pretty low, so maybe you're far
How
away
about
from
now?
the mic. I think it's better now.
Okay. Yeah, no, super thrilled to be here. Glad you guys asked me to come on and maybe help explain the new alpha drop from today, but that'll be later in the agenda. But yeah, super excited to be here. Thanks.
Yeah,
Thank
thanks.
you for
Chip.
joining, Chip.
Yeah, man. Really excited to have you here. Appreciate the communication that you've been dropping in, well, across Discord, but noticeably in the Foundation room. So excited to introduce you formally later in the agenda here, and get some information from you about these faction-aligned corporations.
Yeah, you bet.
Yeah, let's do this. So let's get started. Let's go straight to business. I know that everyone here is looking always for some good alpha, but it's always good to have a nice introduction just to relax a little bit. So yeah, Michael, let's do this. What do you think?
Yeah, man, absolutely. You know, I think we'll just kick off with a little update to the roadmap. I'm sure everybody's this is highly anticipated. Everybody's curious what the year is going to be looking like for us. I will preface the updates today on the town hall with the simple fact that departmental updates are going to be relatively light. Again, we did just get off of a 2-week holiday ourselves, and we spent the first 2 weeks back in office. Well, office being Discord, but back at work, largely focusing on planning for this year. Typically, this is an exercise that we'd like to perform going into Q4 of the preceding year, but just given how busy everyone was on the team and our ambition to deliver that first gameplay feature to you all, which was Score, we didn't get an opportunity really to heavily plan last year, and so we're spending the first couple of weeks making sure that we get all of our ducks lined up and you know, make our plan and then follow through with it. So with that being said, you know, the first kind of core item that I think a lot of people are interested in is what the ship release schedule is going to be for this year. We have been putting quite a bit of thought into that, particularly given that Score itself saw massive purchasing of ships across the market, which depleted the majority of the primary market inventory that was sold by us. Of course, we are Serum Integrated Market, so opportunities still exist to buy those ships from other people on a peer-to-peer basis, but we will be looking to produce quite a few ships this year, probably another 25 to be released throughout the year. And one of the most exciting components for us is that we will also see the release of the Titans. There will be 3 Titans released periodically, and those are going to be going to market as via auction style, most likely to be a reverse Dutch auction. But as you guys are probably aware, these are amongst the largest ships across the entire universe. So one for each faction, and again, launched via an auction process throughout the year. Now, beyond the ship release schedule, another highly anticipated feature release is really that Star Atlas DAO, something we were driving to get completed towards the end of last year. Weren't able to shoehorn that one in, but it is the primary focus over the next couple of months or weeks, I should say. And you know, we've encountered a few technical challenge in our review of the initial proposal for the smart contract. So we're kind of going back to work and revising that, and so. Can't give you any definitive dates on when the DAO will be released. We're still targeting sometime in February. And I should also probably note here that you all identified quite quickly when we released the updated roadmap on Notion that all of the dates had been removed. That was intentional. That's because we are going through this planning and preparation process. when we get more definitive confidence around projected or targeted release dates, we'll be adding those back in with finer and finer detail as we get closer to official release. For anyone that's new to our Discord town hall, I do always like to emphasize when we put dates on the roadmap, we start with a target date. This is an ambitious date that we'd like to deliver the feature, following updates through R&D and assessment of status of these projects. It is not only should not only be anticipated but expected that delays will occur in many cases, and so we formalize a release date later when we have confidence on the actual timing of that release. So always like to clarify that with you all here on the call. Nevertheless, again, Star Atlas DAO still targeting sometime in February. One great metric underlying the functionality of the DAO presently, even though we do not have the staking contract in place, nor do we have the governance in place, all of the revenue that is generated off of the purchase of the resources being utilized across Score. So R4, as we call them internally, but food, fuel, ammunition, and toolkits, all of the revenue that is being generated from that is being segregated into an isolated DAO wallet. That Atlas will, in the future, be distributed based on some proposal and vote that is undertaken by the governors within the DAO. So those individuals that are staking Polis to that contract. Besides the DAO, we are also heavily focused at the start of the year on global polish. You all would have noted this in the Notion roadmap. Global polish refers to a couple of things, but one, it's making improvements across the marketplace and across the minigame to ensure users have the optimal experience, both from user interface standpoint and user experience standpoint. I would point back to some surveys that were undertaken. Again, credit to Luciano here on our team. He's a lead designer. He took multiple calls. Many of you probably participated. We got feedback about complications and both positive and negative feedback from users about their experience on the marketplace. We're now taking that feedback, we're implementing those changes and making those improvements. So really trying to deliver to you the product that you want to see. The other part of this is also cleaning up tech debt. When you're moving as quickly as we are, especially across engineering, we're not always able to engineer these products to our optimal standard. And as such, we want to go back, kind of clean up that debt, make sure everything is functioning properly before we start introducing new features, new programs, new applications, and new game features that would, potentially compound and complicate resolution of those issues in the future. So the first part of the year is really this planning, and it's and cleaning up through the global polish, and then we'll very rapidly be moving into the new feature releases, which beyond the DAO would also include a new marketplace program. This is partially because of the feedback that we got during those user surveys. It also, one of the most dramatic changes from this will simply be the elimination of the settlement process or the claiming process. Now, what is likely to happen here is on many of the markets, particularly the non-commodity based markets, we will be deprecating Serum as our decentralized exchange protocol, and actually through the development of our own marketplace program, be implementing that in place. The real motivation here is to try to treat this more like a game auction house and less like a decentralized finance protocol for those users that have not ever had any experience with trading on these dual-sided marketplaces or looking at order books and things of that nature. So trying to tailor the user interface more to a gaming user base as opposed to the crypto and DeFi user base. We'll also be looking to introduce single-sided Atlas staking at some point in the next couple of months, and that would be closely corresponding with the release of the new marketplace program. There will be some unique benefits that the user can derive from staking their Atlas, in addition to being able to earn some base level Atlas emissions off of single-sided staking, but benefits across the marketplace as well. This might include benefits to accessibility to future drops. Now, coming after that, in sometime in Q2, we are targeting the release of our initial Unreal Engine fully immersive environment. That is the Showroom. That's going to, I've talked about that quite a bit in the past, but it's, not only the first opportunity for you to download the game client, enter into Star Atlas, start to see, on your native desktop what the visuals inside the game are going to look like. But you'll also be able to start interacting with your ship models at real scale inside the game, navigate the interiors, and you'll be able to purchase those items, and then at some point in the future also be able to configure your ships and send those out via the same ship enlistment process that is undertaken in the minigame, but through the Unreal Engine client. Highly anticipated is the crafting and mining a gameplay loop, and that is under project codename Cream. That's a V0 we're looking to release. And then potentially by the end of the year, we'd be releasing the next iteration of ship missions, and this would be a score V1 module, and that's closer towards the end of the year. So we do have a request for everyone. If you haven't seen this on social media, we were nominated for Website of the Year. We do have links in the announcements channel.
We'll
I think
post it now. Yeah, we are going to
Great.
post it now. So I will interrupt you, Michael, so you can take a sip of water, man, because you were on fire. I just let you talk, man, because you were on fire. So
Thanks.
I ask everyone to go to announcements right now. We are posting the link for you to go and take a minute to vote for Star Atlas. That's the link. So thanks everybody, and take some time to vote there.
Thank you, Santi. I was parched, had a sip of water, ready to jump back in. So that's kind of the overview of where we're going this year, right? So we want to get the crafting and mining out. We want to get the updated ship missions out. We're getting you the initial version of Unreal Engine. Also kicking off this year, I didn't really mention it, but we're also, we'll be starting a longer duration project roadmap, which we call Project Rosegarden. This is going to significantly improve on the gameplay features inside Unreal Engine. I think I might be misquoting this, but I think there's 8 core features that are going to be released through that. So it is right now projected to be a 2.5-year roadmap. With that being said, though, these 8 individual features will be released periodically over time, as we do with all of the other gameplay features. So with that being said, let me move on to some departmental updates.
Let's do it.
Yeah,
Let's do it.
We'll start with your side, Santi, on community and marketing, and I think we have to reinforce this every time, and it's a major issue across crypto, but we really want you guys to protect your assets. These malicious bad actors, the hackers, the scams that are going on across the crypto space, it is super important for you to protect your assets, because there's no way for us to recover them for you. Right? These are fully decentralized operations. And so if you lose your funds or you lose your assets, unfortunately, there's really nothing we can do from our side to help you recover those. So first and foremost, we recommend buying a hardware wallet like Ledger, which integrates directly with Phantom. This is also known as a cold storage device. Your keys never actually leave the device, and you're not able to process a transaction without physically interacting with that device. So definitely recommend using a hardware wallet. And beyond that, it is extremely critical that you do not ever share your private keys or your seed phrase, which is generated upon the creation of a wallet, that you never share those with anyone. We, as a team, will never send you a direct message. We will never offer you money. We will never ask you for money. So if anybody's reaching out directly to you through Discord or through Telegram or through any other channel, representing themselves as a representative of Star Atlas, it is a scam, right? So
100%.
Yeah. Anything else you want to add on the scam side, Santi?
Oh, nothing. Just that from our side, like from the Star Atlas team side, in terms of community, it's a big priority for us to have our community well educated. So it will be one of the priorities for us this year. We know that we are going to onboard a lot of new users who are not crypto native. So that's something that we really want to put the focus on. And we ask every community member who is active out there helping everyone to give some tips. If you see any new user, uh, we will really appreciate that when someone new joins, just to give them some tips on how to protect themselves in crypto, and we will do the same from our side.
Thanks, Santi. Yeah, I mean, the other thing that we're trying to do from our side to be proactive on this is we are engaging with third-party services right now to take down these scam links. One of the most prominent ones right now, and it's very simple for them to execute, is to pay for an advertisement and get the top placement on any Google search. Unfortunately, the users that are uninformed or a little more novice to crypto are clicking on these links, assuming that it's legitimate, and then sharing information like seed phrases. So we're doing our best to disseminate information here and to get those scam links taken down as quickly as possible. If you see those out there, please report them to us. We'll relay that information over to our service providers and do our best to get them taken down as quickly as possible.
Exactly. Always triple check the link that you are clicking, and we also recommend to put the Star Atlas pages as your favorites in the browser, so you only enter from there. Always
100%.
be super careful.
Yeah, 100%. So with that being said, moving on to a more positive topic, I want to give a special shout out here to Ashley. This is Hippocryptic on Twitter. She's been producing content surrounding Star Atlas for several months now. In fact, if she wants to come on stage and say hello, Santi, we can pull her up. I'm
For
listening
sure.
in, but specifically mentioning her because she just recently onboarded with us at the beginning of the year, joining us as a media host. So we do hire from the community when we see great talent out there, and very pleased to be bringing Ashley onto the team.
Yeah, bringing Ashley on stage right now.
Great.
We will do a post town hall live on Twitter. It's being hosted by Ash as well. So we invite everyone to go to Twitter after the town hall just to chat and chill with the community, grab a glass of wine, beer, and come join us on Twitter after the town hall.
There
Hello,
she is.
Ash.
Hi, how's everybody doing?
Good. Welcome.
Good, yeah, thank you. I'm really excited to officially join the team. Yeah, so thank you. Thank you for the shout out. I did just want to say I recently changed my name on Twitter, so it's actually ashes.soul. But yeah, and we are having a Twitter Spaces after the town hall today at 4:20. So if everybody feel free to join us, we'll be chatting all about Star Atlas and just connecting with the community, and it's going to be great. The last one we had was pretty epic, so feel free to join us. We like chatting with all of you.
Why did you choose 4:20 as the starting time?
I felt that it just kind of went with the culture.
I like it. Well, guys, enjoy your wine, enjoy your beer.
He gets it.
Yeah. Thanks again for hopping up with us. Just wanted to recognize you because so many people from the community follow your content. So thanks for joining us up here.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. And again, I'm really excited to be on board with all of you as well. So thank you, Mike.
Welcome to the team, Ash. And thanks for all the content that you're producing for the community.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. All right. Well, you guys enjoyed that post town hall Twitter Spaces. I will try to hop in there if I get an opportunity. But moving along, a couple of other things just coming from marketing is that we have a great PR team behind us and a great comms and marketing team doing a lot of work. The results of which you all see out there publicly. It's very much front facing, but one of the areas we do want to focus on this year is our conference presence. And so we'll make sure we keep you all informed anytime we're traveling to attend these events, and would love to connect with you all in person. And then also something we're very excited about is the release of an official Star Atlas apparel line. More to come on this, but we have some really great high quality products that we're looking to introduce and create some cool campaigns around, physical, digital, coupled apparel where you can own the NFT, you can use it on your avatar in Star Atlas, but you'll also be able to go represent yourself as a Star Atlas or metaverse citizen out there in the real world as well.
Let's go.
Yeah, there's been a lot of demands for that, and we've been looking for really top of line provider for that apparel. Okay, HR. You all know this is one of the areas that we're heavily focused on, is recruiting talent and growing the team. Just since the beginning of the year, and I'm not sure that this actually captures all of the updates for December, because we did bring a few people on right at the tail end of the year. But just since the beginning of the year, we've brought on 11 new hires. This is across, this is a technology director, 2 web developers, a technical art director, formerly with Tencent, business intelligence analyst, technical rigging director, formerly from Industrial Light and Magic, a director of user acquisition and retention, metaverse media host, Ash, gameplay UE developer, a UE core systems engineer, and a senior concept artist. We also have really 5 key roles that we are waiting to onboard. We'll discuss this more, but this includes a UI art director, a character art director, an environment art director, a graphic engineer, and also the head of game economy. We are structuring our economic department as a chief economist role that focuses largely on macroeconomic environmental variables and factors that would apply largely to the way that nation states operate, so the way that countries operate and manage their economy. Beneath that, we have the head of game economy, a head of token economy, and we have a head of monetization. So we'll be filling in some of those roles in the coming weeks as well. Really looking forward to various art directors that we're onboarding. This is going to free Danny up quite significantly. Hopefully in the future, we'll be able to get him back onto one of these town halls, but he's been quite buried in the meantime. So more to come from Danny in the future. Let's see. I mean, we have a bit on the engineering and product side. I kind of covered these in the roadmap update. The one thing I'd mention from engineering is there are still some people that are holding the Rebirth posters on OpenSea. If you're one of those individuals and you're looking to make the migration over to Solana, which we would recommend because we'll be able to airdrop to you the appropriate assets based off of the reward structure in the Rebirth campaign, then please open up a ticket with us. Santi, we have a dedicated channel for that. Is that right on the
Yeah, exactly. Can you hear me now? Because I lost my connection. I'm on mobile right now.
We can hear you, yeah.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, so we have a ticket section for migration. You go to the channel here on Discord, create a ticket and create a migration ticket, and we will send you the instructions to bridge the posters.
Fantastic. Thanks, Santi. Yeah, so reach out to one of our fantastic community managers out there. And let me just take an opportunity to thank all of the guild leaders and participants that are also assisting us with customer service and information across Discord. So thank you all for your contributions there. And really circling back to the talent acquisition, just extremely thrilled with all of the amazing people that we brought on the team, some really great talent, and we're only going to continue to grow, but super exciting roadmap ahead of us for company culture and growth. Last thing I'll mention on, this is just under the product side because I've really covered quite a few points in the roadmap, is that ship turrets and hardpoint metrics are now standardized. So this introduced an extra, I don't know if this is supposed to be 3 extra small sized turrets, but turrets at least for the extra small ships. So without further ado, I do want to introduce Chip here. Chip has been working with us on game design. He's working through a lot of the crafting trees and tables that are going to be utilized for mining operations, resource extraction, and the actual crafting process, enabling you all to mint and create your own NFTs that would include not only the resources for score, components and modules for your ships, but also ships themselves that you can then either employ or sell on the open market to another player, maybe a player that is joining later, wasn't around for GAL Phase 1, the Galactic Asset Offering Phase 1, and now you get the opportunity to build those ships and sell them to the new players. So Chip, welcome. How are you, man?
I'm good. I appreciate it. Can you guys hear me better now that I adjusted my mic settings?
We can, yeah.
Okay,
That's
great. And I couldn't hear Santi earlier. I don't know what's going on, but I guess we'll go on. But yeah, I'm doing great. How are you?
good, man. Really good. Thanks for joining us up here today. I think we'll in the future start bringing people on from the various teams to talk a little bit about a day in the life. I would love for you to give an introduction to yourself, just in terms of background, what you did previously. You've got a really interesting background, and you know what you're working on now, and then let's dovetail that into the big announcement today, which was the faction aligned manufacturers or corporations.
Yeah, great. So I've been on the team since October. It's been super exciting. My background prior to that was I was in the Air Force for 5 years as an astronautical engineer. So a lot of people aren't familiar with that term, but it's essentially, when you think aerospace engineering, there's the aircraft side, the aeronautical, and then there's the space side, astronautical. So I focused on spacecraft engineering with the Air Force. Did satellite operations, did ground system engineering, and even got my hands wet with some satellite designs as well. But I wanted to get deeper on the engineering side, so I separated from the Air Force and I joined the civilian sector, where I actually built the spacecrafts for the military. Did some really cool stuff up there, man. Can't talk too much about it, but I designed some pretty cutting edge systems and worked on all sorts of like satellite design and spacecraft engineering. And then my academic background, though, aside from my professional background, is a undergrad in astronautical engineering and a graduate degree in astronautical engineering with emphasis on orbital dynamics and trajectory design. So I spent a lot of time designing trajectories between, low Earth orbit, geo orbit, between Earth and the Moon, things like that. Pretty fun stuff. At least for me, I don't know. It might be dry for other people, but I really enjoyed that. That's my background. But then I've been in crypto since 2016. I joined the crypto space when Ethereum was having its first DAO, the one that we all know that, or at least a lot of us know, that got hacked and created Ethereum Classic. That was kind of my introduction to crypto. And it was kind of a rough introduction, but ever since then I've been hooked. And then I'm also an avid gamer. I love playing. I'm one of the OG RuneScape players. I play Elder Scrolls, No Man's Sky, Factorio, Satisfactory, Stellaris. Those have been my recent gaming interests. And yeah, that's my background. I can talk about what I do for the company now.
Yeah, no, it's super exciting stuff, man. You're bringing the real world physics of astronautical engineering into the metaverse. It's really exciting stuff. Yeah, what would be fantastic to hear a little bit about what you've been working on since you've been on the team.
Yeah, so when I joined the team, I've been working closely with Danny, our chief product officer, and everyone knows he's the vision behind kind of like the gameplay side and the art and the lore. So I started out really just talking to him a lot, getting my understanding of the long-term vision of the game, and then just asking a lot of the lore questions, and just spent a lot of time understanding the game. And there was a lot there, and then doing some research on other analogous games. But as a game system designer, he tasked me primarily with Cream, or it was previously More, but crafting, and he really wanted me to look at ship crafting. Since I've built spacecrafts in real life, he's like, well, let's use your background and have you design out how players are going to craft ships in the game, and let's ground that in realistic technology as well as futuristic technology. And it's been super fun building out those trees, man. And like we already have a big crafting tree there, and we're fine tuning it and kind of getting it ready for Cream. And I'm super excited for when we can release that delivery.
I'd approve some minor alpha drop if you want to reveal anything.
I think I can talk about the faction aligned companies primarily, because that was That was an alpha drop that Danny had me kind of put together back in December. I'm really wanting to release it. I can go through there and explaining the faction line companies. Maybe some alpha comes out. Who knows?
Yeah, I do want to get into that. What do you think right now is the roadmap, or can you share with everyone the roadmap for crafting release? Because we're not going to be dropping all blueprints at once, but what does the future look like for people that are going to be participating in the mining and crafting?
So with Cream V0, the plan is we're not going to have all the ships available for crafting immediately, because what we want to do with Cream V1 and Score V1 is tie manufacturer loyalty to ship missions as well as crafting of ships. So those will go hand in hand. So in the near term, it'll make sense that we have a smaller kind of condensed selection of ships for crafting in Cream V0, and I don't know if I'm at liberty to say which ones those are yet, but it's not going to be all of them.
No, that's great. That's perfect. That's perfect, man. Thank you. Yeah. So why don't we dig in a little bit into those faction aligned manufacturers?
Okay. Yeah. So I'm super appreciative. I've seen some YouTube videos already from the community going through, like, I don't know how they get these videos out so quickly, and they've been going through and speculating, kind of helping the community understand this document, because I wrote it and I knew exactly what I meant when I got all these words on the page, but understandably it's a complex system and it can be a little confusing. So I'm going to take some time here and just kind of try to break it down a little bit. So when we say faction aligned companies, specifically right now we're talking about just ship manufacturers. That doesn't mean there aren't other companies out in our universe, but right now we're just focused on ship manufacturers. And just like companies, they have alignments with in our game the factions, the primary Council of Peace factions. So we have the COP faction alignments, the Council of Peace, so Mud, Oni, and Ooster. Those factions have their own proprietary ship manufacturers. So let's just go through it. Mud is the Pierce ship manufacturer is aligned with the Mud faction. So what that means is that players that are in the Mud faction will have exclusive access to gaining loyalty or accumulating loyalty with Pierce. So that means that Oni and Ooster will not be able to accumulate Pierce loyalty. That doesn't mean they can't buy a Pierce ship from Mud players, and then they're going to be subject to delivery fees and potentially even import taxes. But it's the Mud players that can accumulate loyalty. And then there's also faction passes. So the players in Oni and Ooster, if they want to invest in, or we might even have it unlockable, but if a player has a faction pass, they will get the access. They will get access to being able to accumulate manufacturer loyalty with Pierce. So continuing on, then Busan is proprietary to Oni, and then Visas is proprietary to Ooster. So that I think most players reading that section understands that, but then it gets a little confusing when we have these dual faction manufacturers. So let's just have an example here. So if we look at Agrica, it looks like it is Oni major and Ooster minor. So what that means is that if you're in Oni, you're going to be able to accumulate loyalty with Agrica faster than Ooster. But Ooster still has access to Agrica, and they will be able to accumulate loyalty as well at a slower rate. And then if a Mud player has a faction pass with Oni or Ooster, they will be able to accumulate loyalty with Agrica as well. And we're still working out the exact kind of interdependency tree, but that's what the dual faction system is. It's these companies now that rather than limiting themselves to proprietary with one faction, they're split across two, but they have a preference for one versus the other. But then kind of the exciting part, the real alpha that some players are starting to speculate there's these banished factions or these factions that exist outside of the Council of Peace. So we have Jorvik, which are they're the outlaws and the pirates. You know, I kind of was thinking about them as like the Thieves Guild in Elder Scrolls. You know, just if you want to think about these banished factions, they're almost like these there's these side factions that it's optional to join them, and then you can accrue loyalty with them or go through their quest lines. So you have the Jorvik, they're the outlaws and the pirates, and they exist in the medium and high risk zones. And for the most part, players who aren't aligned with them, they're gonna be like NPCs that just, you know, that attack you in these areas, and they're gonna be one of the threats to operating in these riskier zones. So when you do align with them, though, you will be able to accrue loyalty. You'll have missions with them, and then you'll have access to the build your own ship line, or the BYOS. And then the ecos, the terraforming radicals with their gorgeous ecos ship line, they also are a banished faction, and they exist in the medium and high risk zones as well. And similar mechanics to joining them and accruing loyalty with them as well. And then you have the Tufa, which are the metagenic creatures. They're the rock people, and those guys are, as it's stated in the Notion doc, they're the scourge of the Cataclysm, and the Cataclysm is the central high risk area that is high risk, high reward area. They're going to be the ones that are kind of protecting things in that high risk area. But you will be able to align with them, and you will be able to build reputation with them and have access to their technology, their Tufa ship line. And then you have the Fatoli, which they're not necessarily a faction. They're a race. They're an ancient race of light-based creatures, and they're the source of some pretty exotic and advanced technology in the game that is instrumental in building the Rainbow line. And the Rainbow line is intended to be our exotic manufacturing line. If they're going to be the most complex and the most time consuming to build. So I think that rounds out the document, pending any questions.
That was fantastic, man. Love the summary. Really well said. We've got some exciting content coming from you guys on the product team, and I think this is going to create some really interesting gameplay dynamics going into the future. I'm definitely looking forward to that. I would like to, Santi, are you back with us? He's been having some connection issues. I can't hear him. I don't know if anyone else can hear him.
I can't hear him.
Okay, he's dropping off here. What I would like to do is, yeah, I still can't hear you, Santi.
Hello, hello.
Oh, there you are.
Oh, and Chip, can you hear me as well?
Yes, I can.
Oh, let's go. I have been struggling like for 10 minutes. But yeah, I'm back here. Back on stage.
Great, man. Welcome back. What I was thinking, Santi, is why don't we do this? Why don't we have everybody drop their raised hand right now? I'd love to see if there's a question specifically for Chip, whether it be on faction aligned corporations or otherwise, just some of his comments he made. Please raise your hand if you have a question specifically for Chip. We'll bring one or two up and start from there.
Yeah, I'm sure that Ronin has a lot of good questions for Chip. He has been producing a lot of content from the ship's lore and everything, so I think it's accurate to let him ask a question to Chip.
Hello, hello. How's everybody doing?
All good, Ronin. Great to hear your voice again, my friend.
It's always great to hear your guys' voices for sure, and I mean, so appreciative that you pulled me up here and everything. First and foremost, I do want to say it's nice to meet most of the new team members and everything like that. Congratulations, Ash. for getting the position inside of the team as well and everything like that. So there are always congratulations in hand for everybody. All right. But moving on to the subject at hand. So from what I understand with how, from reading the paper on how the two faction, basically the dual faction ships are going to get constructed and everything like that, there's obviously the major and the minor. Now, with the major and the minor, you need to have a certain amount of loyalty within the dual faction and everything like that. How would that exactly work? And as well with that, how are we going to acquire faction passes in order to basically be able to take part in these missions? And or even more so, with the faction passes, would that also allow us to basically acquire resources from the opposite faction?
So with the faction passes, I know I can say that will give you access to that manufacturer's missions, and it's not set in stone what rate of loyalty accumulation do the faction pass holders have compared to the players that exist in the minor faction or the players that exist in the major faction. But it's set in stone that the players in the major faction will be accumulating and maybe have more access to more lucrative missions or faster paced missions in the major faction, and in the minor faction maybe a whittled down or a subset of mission availability and slower loyalty accrual. So but I guess I haven't spoken to the resource distributions as well. So these ship manufacturers have their own proprietary blends of crafting reagents. So the way I've been thinking about ship crafting is in the future, additive manufacturing or 3D printing is going to be an instrumental technology used in creating these ships. So when you have 3D printing, you fill up your filaments, or you fill up essentially the ink associated with printing, and each of the manufacturers use their own kind of blend of materials, and those blends will be in higher concentrations or higher availability in the zones associated with their alignments. Does that make sense?
It somewhat makes sense. From what I'm understanding and everything like that, is it also that when in correlation towards each of these, for instance, like say the Calico line and everything like that, now you don't have any link towards the Oni faction, but with the Calico, with the Mud faction being the majority faction over there, do you necessarily need to cross I would say faction line in order to gain loyalty with that opposing faction, or can all of these things be done at the same basically a faction like operation sense, I would say, or something of that sort?
Yeah, no, it won't necessarily be location locked to be able to do the Calico missions. If Calico spans operations across two factions, then they will have a point of operations in both, and then you'll have access to missions, and you won't necessarily have to go over to a neighboring faction's area to do the missions, kind of thing.
All right. Okay. So then that answers that one completely. But then in correlations to that as well, does that also mean that because it's a dual faction, basically manufactured ship and everything like that, would this require resources from both factions in order to craft this the ship, or would it basically be determined off of the majority of one of the factions just basically needing more resources of that certain faction? Because as I understand, each faction has their own certain sets of resources, but with having a dual faction setup, you would need to obviously acquire resources cross faction when manufacturing certain chips.
So the way I have it designed right now is that, or at least the heat map of resources is that, say Calico is across two factions, and one of their specific reagents in their ship manufacturing. Let's just use an example: cobalt. I'm not saying the actual things here, but just using an example. So cobalt.
Yeah.
there'll probably be more cobalt in the major faction alignment versus the minor, but minor can still mine cobalt and build the Caligo ships.
So within each faction and everything like that, as how you've structured it currently and so on, that's not necessarily restricting each faction towards their own resources, but just that the gathering rate of those resources would be higher in certain factions compared to other factions.
Yeah, and then that doesn't mean Ooster won't have cobalt, but they probably won't have that much, right? So we're definitely not. Other than like the exotic materials or the really rare materials, a lot of the base reagents, like the common materials and the uncommon ones, they're all going to be available in all the regions, but the relative distributions will be favored towards and matching the faction alignments.
All right, awesomeness. Sorry, I'm taking up so much time. I just have one more question related to Cream now, basically. With Cream coming in and everything like that, and you being the main contributor towards Cream, with how we understand land claims are going to come into play, you have obviously tier 1 to tier 5 and everything like that. Would there be a set limit that each individual could do within a certain faction, or would it be unlimited, indefinite? And then also with that coming into play, obviously having a tier 5, would the majority of those resources that's being gathered from that tier 5 be subsequently larger and have a different rarity rate as well, compared to your tier 1 to tier 3, for instance?
Okay, there was a lot there. Let me see if I can handle it.
I'm sorry. It's a very detailed question.
No worries. So it's pretty obvious that as you increase your tier on your land claim, you're going to be able to put more structures down. Because there will be essentially more space available for you to put it down, and then as you increase the tier of your structures, they will be able to mine at a higher rate, but they'll probably consume more power. So there's going to be power management involved as well. Yeah, so there's going to be some fun kind of city builder / base management and resource management as well going on there. But the key point is that increasing the tier of your claim stake will basically open up the ability to mine more and mine faster. But then, as far, I think you asked a question on, well, is there a set amount per planet? There's going to be different planets are going to have their set emission rates. So one planet might emit cobalt faster, and another planet might have a lot more iron, or another planet will be a gas planet. So there's going to be reasons to have multiple claims on different planets if you want to have a full ship crafting supply chain. But then also a player might just specialize in one portion of ship crafting, and then they might not need to have operations across planets. So there's going to be a lot of options and a lot of agency given back to the player to choose what they want to do.
All right, and that answers all of my questions as of right now and everything like that. I do appreciate you taking the time in order to do this. Once again, it's lovely meeting all the new team members and everything like that. Congratulations to all the new team members, and thank you very much once again.
Yep, thanks.
Thank you for the questions, Ronin.
Yeah, thanks, Ronan. Great questions.
And thanks, Chip, for being here, man. It feels so good.
Oh,
Thanks for all the alpha.
This is super fun.
Yeah, so we also have Bohemian here on stage. Welcome, Bohemian, to the stage. How are you?
Thank you very much, Santi. I didn't know if I was gonna make it here. Chip, welcome to the team. This is the first time I think I hear you speaking. How you doing, Ashley? Welcome to the team too. I didn't know you were part of the Star Atlas. And Michael, you are the man. I have a couple 200 or 300 questions, but I'm gonna summarize them in 2 or 3, Chip. And this is for Chip. Okay. First question. We're talking about resource collection. Can I assume that resources, since this is going to happen as part of Cream T0, are going to happen just like we collect Atlas rewards right now in the minigame?
Yeah, you can think about it the same way. You essentially stake a miner, and then you start generating a resource of your choice, depending on what planet you're on, and then you'll have to collect those resources back into your inventory or wallet.
Perfect. Okay. So that assumes that we're talking about planets already, that we're going to have a coordinate system. Is it finished, or is that going to be something for later?
No, Cream V0 is still going to be coordinate unlocked, which means that you won't necessarily be having to manage inventories across planets. Like you won't have an inventory on planet A and an inventory on planet B and an inventory on space station. You'll have one global inventory for now. However, you will have claim stakes across on different planets. At least that's the current design.
Oh, I see. So no coordinates for now, but we do have storages per planet.
No, we want to get to that point, but that's not part of Cream V0.
Okay, I understand. And maybe T1. Okay. Now, regarding decentralized autonomous corporations and the fact, how do they relate? Are we going to have one before the other, or are we going to have all these new functionalities for Cream without the DAX?
Not really following the question. I don't think Cream and DAX are kind of interrelated, but maybe you can rephrase it.
Okay.
Yeah, well, you're Bohemian. You're referring specifically to the DAC registration component, right? You're waiting for the official registration within Star Atlas and access to like guild leaderboards, things like that.
Correct, because now we're talking about loyalty points, right, between different factions. So, I mean, all this is coming into play, and how is this going to relate to the organizations themselves? Are they going to be taken as individual players without the organization playing a role until much later when DAX are implemented, or they're coming around the same time? I'm just trying to want to gauge what comes first, how they're going to be merged together.
Yeah, I would suggest that there's still quite a lot of work that needs to be done on things like guild treasury wallets, for example, and collective asset management across DAX. So for now, you'd be operating largely as an individualistic player with respect to account progression, things like loyalty, things like experience and leveling up. This is all really on an individual level today, and then you can, of course, collectively collaborate with your guild. With your DAC on utilization of resources that would be necessary to produce various assets. But that's going to have to be managed externally for now until we can release this more comprehensive tool set for guilds.
Excellent. I understand. So I guess the same answer will apply for land actions, right? We're not going to be dealing with land right now. We're just going to be dealing with planets, right? And then the auctions of land will happen later.
No, the intent is planets have slots that you can stake your claim stakes on, and then that'll give you access to land and mining operations.
And they will happen as an individual, right? Not through the organization. Perfect. I think that answers and clarifies a lot of things. Thank you very much, Chip and Michael. You explain a lot. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Santi.
Asking questions.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you, Bohemian. So let's take one more. What do you think, guys? Chip, Michael?
Of course, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, perfect. We have Moonman here. Welcome, Moonman, to the stage.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? How you guys doing tonight?
All good, man. And you?
And good to hear from you.
Beautiful, beautiful. Ash, congratulations on getting accepted into the team. Chip, I think is how we're saying your name. So glad to see you on the team and explaining everything, man. You're doing
Yeah, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, so my question, it refers to, the staking that we're talking about with the land and stuff like that. So I've got a question. Obviously, this is going to be on the PC, but have you guys ever thought about or considered maybe doing something from mobile? I know that's been asked a couple of times. to where you can actually have like those city builders. You could do that on your mobile phone, but then also have this really cool experience where you click on the side corner wherever that allows you to exit that planet. In the same way you zoom into a picture, you can actually zoom in with your two thumbs going out or two fingers through space, and then maybe a miniature version of like how you kind of see like the EVE Online map, but in the phone that allows you to go from planet to planet and do your resources in there. And then the next question, does Unreal Engine 5 even, you know, transfer over to mobile games? So that's kind of my question.
Yeah, I can jump in here. So you know, on the first point, I'm not entirely aware of the mobile applications that you're referring to, but one of the areas that we are focused on and that I touched on a little bit within the roadmap is that are those marketplace improvements. Those also include mobile optimizations across the entire web interface. And so, you know, this also leads to kind of the progression or development of a progressive web app. So Star Atlas Marketplace and minigame features would be easily accessible through the phone, and the formatting and the layout would function properly, which we know there's quite a few broken areas that exist today. We want to make those improvements. And I can't remember specifically the name of the wallet, but there are mobile wallets coming to Solana. I know Phantom is in beta with the release of their mobile wallet. So in theory, just as a progressive web app, you would be able to interact with all of the same functionality that you would, whether you're on PC or on your mobile device. Secondary to that is the, you know, UE doesn't run directly on mobile devices. The way that largely works today is through entities like Stadia. You guys may be familiar with, I think it's Render that's building on Solana, but this is remote GPU rendering, which then streams to your device. This is one of the areas that I'm most optimistic about, even though it is in early development, still kind of early stages, but the ability to deliver the same graphical fidelity to your device that someone on their desktop computer would be able to use. So that's the approach or direction that I would like us to take, as opposed to building out some custom mobile application, enabling people to access the minigame.
Yeah, that was great. That was great. Yeah, I was just kind of pitching like a are you guys working on some type of, you know, Star Atlas mobile game? And it was, you know, doing the resources like that and then scrolling around through space and going from planet to planet. But no, like you said, everything would just be integrated through some maybe some mobile device, you know, that does the marketplace or something. So yeah, that was pretty much the question, you know, if anything crazy like that was coming. But yeah, thank you for answering, Michael.
No, of course. And it's a great question. You know, we get it a lot, and we definitely understand, like, demographically, a lot of our users are, you know, spread out all over the world, and a lot from emerging markets, and where, you know, not everybody's going to have the super high-end PC necessary to engage in that fully immersive gameplay. So there is still the potential that in the future we build out a custom mobile application specifically, you know, for the Star Atlas gameplay. But you know, as you can imagine, we're already stretched quite thin, even through scaling, just in the simple fact that we need to engineer all of the blockchain or on-chain programs. We need to build out the web experience, and then also focused on Unreal Engine development and that full production team. So there's quite a bit going in of resources going into those initiatives, and trying to carve out an additional team to build a mobile app right now just isn't on the agenda.
Yeah, correct. Right. You guys are just trying to really build that, you know, stellar look on the PC. Beautiful. Well, thank you guys. You guys have a great rest of your night, and thank you for all the information you already know. Thank you guys. I'll go down now.
Thank you. Appreciate the question.
Thank you, Moonman.
Well,
So
yeah.
we are over 1 hour now. I think it's time to close this first town hall of the year. Any closing thoughts, Michael, Chip, Ash, or Pablo?
No, you know, I think this was a fantastic way to kick off the year. Again, really excited about all of the things that we have coming this year. And Ash, thanks for jumping up and joining us. So again, welcome to the team. Chip, fantastic job with describing all of the functionality and features that you've been working on, and thanks for being up here with us answering questions. Pablo, as always, much love, my friend. Hope you have a great weekend, and same to all of you out there in the audience. We sincerely appreciate all of the support that you've shown us over the past year plus now. So thank you all for being here and joining us, and yeah, really looking forward to the future.
Exactly. Thank you to the more than 1,000 people who joined today. And we will see you if you want to join us for the after town hall party on Twitter.
Yeah, I think you've got 15 minutes to get your joint ready. Is that what I'm understanding? Something.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll just come right out and say it, man.
Yeah. You have
Or
to
your
say
glass
it.
of wine or your beer. It doesn't have to be that. But yeah, definitely join us. We'll be chatting and having a great time.
Awesome,
Yeah.
guys. All right. Well,
I
fantastic.
saw you Chip on muting. Just in case, asking if you want to share any closing thoughts.
No, Michael covered it pretty well. I know what's in the pipeline for this year, and I'm super excited. And I feel like Cream, we're actually going to start having a real open economy, and it's going to be really wild to watch it unfold. So super excited, and I really appreciate you guys having me on.
Thank
Yeah,
you, Chip.
man,
It was great to have you here. I know that everyone was taking notes when you were speaking.
Yeah, furiously taking notes, I guess.
Chip's been working with us on the economy side as well through the integration of this. So yeah, completely agree with you, man. I thought about bringing that up, but yeah, I don't. Let's save something for the next one.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool.
Yeah, let's save some alpha. So this was the first town hall of the year. Thank you everyone for joining, and power to the people.
And stick it to the man.
See you,
Are
everybody.
you ready for the next evolution in gaming? Blockchain games are here. Why just play when you can play to earn? Enter the Star Atlas metaverse with Rome. Star Atlas is a grand strategy game of space exploration, territorial conquest, political domination, and so much more. Rome is a premier guild of the Oni faction within Star Atlas. Rome is here to play and to earn. Want to take part in the action? Rome is accepting new citizens. Join the Rome Guild on Discord to learn more at gorome.io.